64. Outside the Round Table Show 64.
The following show is a sponsor of Joy 106.3. Joy 106.3, its parent company, Ringer Broadcasting, Inc., its owners and associates take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the talk show hosts, callers, or their guests. Statements or show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of this radio station.
You're now tuning in to Outside the Round Table with your host, H.L. Silent, where we discuss issues that affect us all. Good afternoon and welcome to Outside the Round Table. And before we get started today, first of all, listen, I got the wrong mic, or this mic not working. Feedback. I'll have to do it without this right now. Good afternoon, and welcome to Outside the Round Table. I'm your host, H.L. Silent. We're having a little technical difficulties right quick. Bear with us 1 second. Oh, okay. Let me see. Okay, I think this is one. Okay, welcome to Outside Around. You hear me pretty good? Okay, I want to make sure everybody hear me. Good afternoon. Listen, it's a great day, but I think before we get started today, I'd like to have a moment of prayer for the officers that got shot the other night, because, it is a tough job, and we do need policemen, so I'd like to take a moment of prayer for one of our finest in Daytona. Thank you very much. Because at the end of the day, we're all Americans, and we're not saying we don't need policemen, we just say we want to be respected by the police, So when, we know we realize it's a tough job they do, so, our condolences go out to the family. Our prayers and everything go out to their families. So, now listen, if I could ever get going here today. Listen, let's talk about Joe Biden, because I'm chopping at the bit to get going. The number here today is 386-868-0635. I'm kind of chopping at the bits to get going, because is it me? Or do y'all think Joe Biden needs to be held accountable for the slowness in passing some of these bills? Huh? I mean, I'm going to hold him responsible for how nothing getting done. I mean, they talk about $1.2 trillion on an infrastructure bill that we really need about $6 trillion. We need until now they coming up. We bipartisan, we finally getting something done. No, we're not really getting nothing done, because what the Democrats want and what the Republicans are going to vote on is complete opposite spectrums. At the end of each spectrum, at the opposite ends. I mean, 1.2 trillion from 6 trillion. I don't seem. Well, it sounds like no compromise to me. I don't know about you guys, but it don't sound like no compromise to me. Our infrastructure is crumbling. And I mean, I've been talking about this for months. I've been giving this analogy for months. There's somebody stayed in your house. Listen to me. And this just how you internalize or illuminate or polarize what I'm trying to say to you. We've been neglected for 4 years. We've been neglected. It's like somebody lived in your house for 4 years and didn't do anything to your house. Only thing they did was tear it up. And before they left it a complete mess. You can draw the same conclusions to what's happening right now with this country. Here you got the richest of the rich getting all the tax breaks, but they don't even want to fix the roads They trucks running on to make the money, off our backs. They don't want to pay for nothing. Nothing at all. And what you're going to have is they don't want to do an infrastructure bill of any significant amount because they don't want to create a whole bunch of jobs that's going to be paying better than the jobs they're offering. They're already having trouble hiring people now because they don't want to pay nobody. So if you got an alternative, then it works against their best interest. So of course they don't want to go big on the infrastructure package. I don't know. I mean, that could be me. That's how I'm looking at it. I could be wrong because to me it just seems like a party just waiting for the midterms. I don't know. Because I see everything being done at a snail's pace. And if your house is burning down, you wouldn't be getting your clothes like you finna go to the beach. You'll be trying to hurry up and get your stuff and get up out of there. So I want a bill to be passed. Listen, we gotta make our highways and our bridges safer. Point blank. That should be bipartisan. That shouldn't have to be a partisan bill. And when you see these Republicans not willing to vote to make your road safer for you and your parents and your kids, you need to take issue with that. That's all I'm saying. You need to take issue with that. Our roads need fixing. And no pun intended, but you talk about making the streets safer. When you talk about police, you want to make the streets safe. Well, let's make them safe to be drove on. And this is why I constantly talk about. And this is why I constantly talk about they playing games with our lives. Because they literally playing games with our lives because bridges are collapsing all over this country, ladies and gentlemen. Potholes. Can you imagine how much money you'll save on your tires? Or your alignments around your tires that somehow come underlined because it went in a big hole that was in the streets? How much money to make you, how much money to save you and your family? We drive these thoroughfares each and every day. Your parents, your kids, we need to let our representatives know that we expect these basic needs to be addressed. And we need to have a movement afoot to fix the streets and the buildings that's falling down. I talked about the buildings. I even talked about how fast these buildings around here were going up. It amazes me to see how fast these buildings are going up. It amazes me. I mean, I digress a little bit, but it amazes me. And let me say this. This is H.L. Seiler's opinion. Host outside the round table is not Joy 106.3 FM Daytona's favorite gospel station opinion. This is my opinion. And our motto at Outside the Round Table, we value all opinions. The more the merrier. Because our motto is what? Stimulating conversation while assimilating information. And I want to say something to the people in South Florida, Surfside. We praying for y'all every day. And I'm just as upset. When I say we, I'm talking about the community of Volusia County, the V. We talking about it, and we upset just like you guys upset. We don't pick and choose when to get outraged and stuff. Because when you tell me buildings ain't got to be inspected every 40 years, are you kidding me? I'd like to know who passed that bill. So this is why it's so very important that we engage everybody. That's why it's so important that we engage. Because if we don't, they'll never do anything for us. They'll never do anything for us. Let's face it. If we don't engage our representatives in Washington, don't get on the phone, let them know we're watching them. We don't engage them. They just do what they want to do. They don't do the will of the people. And that's only because of apathy that runs rampant in our communities. We got to engage on issues that affect us each and every day in this country. And that's everybody. We got to let them know we're paying attention because, trust me, they're not going to do anything for us if we don't start calling these phone lines and inundating these emails. There needs to be an overhaul. And let me say this too. There needs to be an overhaul of this entire political apparatus. Point blank. Number one. There needs to be an overhaul. Listen to me. We need to be pushing for an overhaul of this entire political apparatus that they have installed, where the minority can rule by trickery, by making the majority have to have a super majority. Because that's what you got to have, a super majority. It ain't no game in America. Ain't no business in America where you can win by 8-9 million votes and still lose. What kind of game that is? You know any game where I could win 8 million, 9 million more points than you and I still lose? What kind of game that is? Where they do that at? That's what happens every year when we had, every cycle when we had a presidential election. Hillary Clinton won by 6-7 million votes and still lost. So how you explain that? I don't want to hear about no electorates. This is supposed to be a democracy. One person, one vote. Let's let everybody get into one pool. Let's do that. Because it seems to me that all of a sudden, the Republicans and their pundits want to holler about the Democrats not working with them. All of a sudden, all the malfeasance that's went on, all the corruption that went on the last 4 years, but somehow all of a sudden it's outlandish for the Democrats to propose some bills that will remotely help the people. That's outlandish. When does that become outlandish? Helping the people. People coming first. Now that's outlandish. And to me, and I know I'm digressing right now, I'm off script, but I just can't understand why hard-working people are allowing themselves to go for the okie doke with this Republican, with a brand of this Republican Party, with the majority of this Republican Party. I don't understand it. And this is why in previous shows I spoke and touched on the aspect of misinformation. It's not misinformation. It's just a nice way of saying lying propaganda. Because here it is, you got a president that's still going around talking about the election was stolen. And it makes me wonder, does he really have all his faculties? It really does. And you know, I thank the Lord every day that we got out of that administration. We got them out of without any more destruction, any more calamity that had already taken place that could affect all the great people of this whole entire country. I'm telling you, that's no hyperbole. That's how I really feel and how I really felt. But let me get back to my initial. Let me ask everybody something. How can you get back to business as usual? Maybe somebody can call me, 386-868-0635. I'm putting that out there. Let me ask everybody something. How can you get back to business as usual When you got people that broke into your house, understand me, listen to what I'm finna tell you. I'm finna put it in language where everybody can relate. Let's say somebody broke into your house, assaulted your family, killed somebody in your house. Now instead of the law being brought in, trying to find who the perpetrators was and so forth, now they want to carry on as nothing ever happened. Where they do that at? So every time you see a Republican, you get the whole party voting against the January 6th committee to find out who was complicit and who had a tacit relationship with those rioters and those insurrectionists, because that's what they were. Huh? So you have a whole entire party blocking the people who's supposed to be Merrick Garland, you and your crew, who I think the weakest AG of all time, who's supposed to be trying to find out who was behind it. They had to get their marching orders from somewhere. And it seems like it's a concerted effort to me to not go there. We the people of America and the people of this great country, man, need answers. We need answers. Because if there's nothing done, then you already know they're going to do it again. Because I told y'all from the beginning, I said when they were doing all the other stuff, I said those are test runs. Just go back and check out any of my shows. I said, this show 64. Go check out any show. I told them it was test run. Look how Russia shut down our pipeline. The Russian hackers. Oh, it ain't Russia. It's just hackers in Russia. Are you kidding me? It ain't Russia, but it's hackers in Russia. They think we sheep. How stupid do they think we are? We need to change the culture. We need to get people who are going to go in Washington and actually have our backs. Because it's a shame what they're doing to the American people, the great people of this country. It's a shame. It really is. It really is. But it's outlandish to try to fix our railroads and our rail systems. All that's outlandish. But it's not outlandish to incite thousands of people to attack, our democracy right at its very heart. The same group of people that still running behind Trump right now. I was talking to a couple of friends and I got my little wacky analogies, and I said, man, I look at the Republicans and Democrats as a marriage. Yes, man, yeah, man. I said, no, I'm talking about, no. I'm talking about a real marriage. Huh? Oh, there you go. What you mean? I said, I look at the Republicans as the man and the Democrats as the women. From back in the day. How a man and a wife was back in the day. Not modern times marriage. Back in the day marriage. Where you can have an abusive husband and he's steady beating you, steady don't want to, he's steady gonna respect you, but you won't leave him. You won't try to go be on your own. Back in the day. It's back in the 60s, y'all. I ain't talking about now. So you ain't got to fill my line up going, I'm not talking about right now, because we know y'all making more money than we making right now, so we ain't talking about that. I'm giving you an analogy so you can understand how I look at this Republican and this Democratic Party to make it more interesting for people who might not really be interested in what's going on. I look at it as a husband and a wife, where the husband steady beats the wife, but she won't leave him. Steady showed her that he's not going to be faithful, but she won't leave him. That's the same thing I look at the Democrats. And it would seem like we got a Democrat that's in power that ain't even in no power. It seems like, they ran on people's first and doing the will of the people and all this stuff, but it seems like the only person they trying to appease are the Republicans in cohorts in Congress. Don't seem like they're trying to do the bidding of the people to me. Maybe I could be wrong. I mean, Joe Scarborough on TV this morning talking about, got him and Joe Manchin talking about so much done been done. You never seen so much done and so shortly and so quickly in an administration. Really? Really? That's news to me. I don't know about you guys, but it's news to me. It's always the low bar when it comes to their participation. Just look at the election. I know I like to be able to run a president, know I could lose by 8 million votes and still win. All I got to do is concentrate on a couple of key states. Most of those states don't even have 10% blacks. Don't even represent the makeup of the country these days. I keep telling everybody, anybody who wouldn't listen, we're going to keep getting the same problems year in, year out until we finally say, we're going to do something and change these laws. Or in a minute, we ain't gonna even know democracy. Because it really ain't democracy right now if you think about it. How's a democracy when you got to win? Democracy is one person, one vote, the majority rule. It didn't say super majority. Get anything done in the city, they say you had to have 60. It should be 50 plus 1. It's bad enough you got Christine Sinema and Joe Manchin acting like Republicans every day. So it's still like they got the majority. Because Christine Sinema and Joe Manchin, they're so worried about the Democrats getting along with the Republicans and the Republicans' feelings. Have you ever seen anything like this in your life, folks? We're living in dangerous times. I keep telling people that they think it's hyperbole, but it's not. We're living in dangerous time because what you have is, and I'm off script, but what you have is you have the erosion of the mechanism put in place in order to ensure an fair election. You have the question of policies and pillars in the community that have been doing these elections before even Donald Trump even thought about running for office or being in politics. And I would never insult the great people of this country who run these elections every cycle. Are you kidding me? We have the greatest people in the world and the greatest country in the world. Yeah, we have our differences. But as a whole, there's no place like America. Are you kidding me? You just got to ask yourself, and I want you to sign and ask yourself, how much going to get done at the pace they're moving? You got to ask yourself that. I'd like to know. Because I don't see really nothing getting done if your president of the United States ain't going hard. I don't see nothing getting done if your president of the United States not going hard. And I don't think he's going hard, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah, we safer because we got a madman at the White House. But I don't see him doing it. It's almost as if I keep saying they're playing games because we know and they know they're playing games with our life. We got to have pushback about these draconian bills that they're coming out with in 43 states to disenfranchise an entire race of people, an entire segment of people, not just a race, a segment of people, poor people. Trying to disenfranchise poor people, working people, what I call the working poor. People who got jobs, but we still all 2 paychecks away from being in the streets. Don't get it twisted. And bills that's frankly, in my opinion, are anti-American. If you don't want your roads and your bridges safe for your citizens, that's anti-American to me. I don't know about you. Number here today, 386-868-0635. But I'm saying, that's anti-American to me. That's just like you having a driveway with your kids playing on every day with their bikes and stuff. It's a pothole. You're going to fix it, aren't you? Same thing. It shouldn't be partisan to get our roads fixed. That should be about partisan. Everybody should vote for that. Yes, you got the Republican William vote, but somehow they're gonna take the House back and the Senate back in the midterms. This is why I feel we have to have a serious discussion on what's really going on and an overhaul of this system, because I don't see how that anybody would install Republicans and Republicans to the House and to the Senate after the job they done thus far. To start them back into power, to me, would be just crazy. Be frankly with you. Why would you? It's like we get ourselves out of one jam, and then we allow them to come put us back into another jam. We vote them right back in, and then we get ourselves out of another jam, and we allow them to come back in and do the same thing. And I've seen it 3 or 4 presidential cycles. Bush did to Obama. Bush did to Clinton, really, because Clinton had the economy booming. Bush came in and tanked it. Obama had to bring it out of the ditch. Trump came in with Obama, got with the economy booming up from Obama, and then he don't trash it. Now here go Biden, who really, in my opinion, I'm off script. I ain't even read. I'm just off script because there's so much going on. But here comes Biden, who's really Republican light, and I said that ad nauseum too to everybody. I said, hey, please, I didn't. That's why I've read so much saying when they pulled their little coup on Bernie, when Clive went to South Carolina and told the black people to vote for Biden, when Biden had told us nothing he gonna do for us, and I told y'all then, so why would you vote for somebody who ain't never told you what he gonna do for you? See, an informed voter is the best voter. We got to be informed on issues that affect us each and every day. Now, that was part of the Democratic right wing of that party that did that to me, if you ask me. Because to be presumptuous to say Bernie Sanders wasn't going to win, how could you be that presumptuous? I like the Bernie. I like Elizabeth Warren too. I loved Elizabeth Warren because she actually told us what she was going to do for us. But she told us at the wrong time, remember? She told us after she had won that little primary, and then she said she wanted reparations for black people. And as she was saying, I was screaming TV, no, don't do it, Elizabeth. Don't tell me you're going to give black people nothing. Wait till you get in office. And the next day, a poll synced. I promise you, all got to do is check it out. You ain't got to take my word for it. I ain't trying to be funny. It's funny, but I ain't trying to be funny. Her poll dropped. And I said, man, I wish I could have been a consultant for Elizabeth Warren. Because whoever was her consultant was giving her all the wrong stuff to do in order to win. If I'd have been her consultant, she would have won. She would have won. Because I whispered in her ear, Elizabeth, don't tell nobody nothing till after the election. Then after the election, then you say that's an after election speech right there. That's an after the election speech. That's what I told her. I was told her, please don't tell the country what you're gonna do for black people. That's the number one way to lose the election. And say you want to try to give us something. Please don't do that. Hold that down to after the election. But in my opinion, it's about, y'all listen. In my opinion, and I consider myself eccentric, not crazy as a thin line, but my opinion is this: I think they're trying to run out the clock, and I don't think they're interested in getting nothing done for us. We're in a bad situation. We're in a bad situation. Because there's a lot that needs to be done right now with like an emergency type situation movement going on behind all those different agendas I'm talking about. It need to be all hands on deck, and everybody going full board right now. But everybody's just on cruise control. To the delight of the Republicans, I can assure you, to the delight of the Republicans, because they ain't trying. Why we keep trying to get along with a party who already done told us they have no intention of working with us? And it's sad that they won't do nothing to help the people, because I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. They feel like if they hurting the people, they feel like y'all ain't voted for them. And so they want to eliminate you from even being able to vote. That's what you got going on with in all these states, with all these draconian voting right bills that they're trying to pass. What I don't understand is, how's America even allowing that? It's a national election. If you can't go by the national election rules, then you can't be a part of it. It's one thing y'all gerrymander and rig these state elections, because I keep telling everybody that's what they're mad about. That's what Trump's so irate about, the why he keep going around telling it was stolen, because he know he tried to steal it, and he still lost. He had irate people so irate with him, he don't realize it. Why would somebody, and I keep saying this, why would you have to steal an election when the country going down the drain? People ain't getting no relief. People ain't getting no help. All our money steady being stole. You got a guy on national TV that's supposed to be the leader of the free world, telling his own constituents, his own fellow Americans, to inject bleach into their arms, and was serious about it. This the person who had our nuclear codes? Are you kidding me? And you don't think I breathe so much easier today? Just imagine, this was the guy that had our nuclear codes. This was the guy who told us he wouldn't wear no mask, and it was just a hoax, but he already knew it was 5 times more contagious, because he told Bob Woodward in an interview in February out of his own mouth. Huh? He told Bob Woodward out of his own mouth. So he knew. And then he caught it himself. So my thinking, I don't know about your thinking, but my thing was, this man got all these resources, and he still caught it. Lord help me. Lord help my family. Lord help my community. Lord help us all. Because that was the leadership that we had for 4 years, where everybody just ran crazy. And everybody just stuffed their pockets. And they ran it like there was a mob, not respecting the subpoenas. Obstructing right in plain view. But somehow, there's never the outrage. Somehow there's never the outrage. We got to get away from the tribalism that we find ourselves in today. It's gonna be the cause of our downfall if we don't. We got to get rid of this tribalism that exists and start being Americans first. That still don't mean, as a native black, you don't want what's due you. I'm still in favor of my reparations. I mean, this is me, don't get mad. I ain't studying no holiday. I want my money. I want y'all to get together and try to figure out some kind of way to pay us back all the money that we got coming, all the land that was taken from us, all the land that we didn't get. And we need to be able to go back to our forefathers. I'm talking about native blacks. That's what I'm talking about. Descendants of slaves. I was on a show Tuesday, and it's a different type of show. I'm all off script, but I don't care. It was a different kind of show. And Me and dude got in a little exchange, and he was like, heathens. The kids, they heathens. Hey, you know you can do about it, killing people because they won't want to be with you. I said, listen, people been killing people because they don't want to be with them for a long time, way before it was just being happening in the neighborhood, way back in the Roman days. I said, everybody can see what's going on is bad. Everybody can see that our kids seem to be out of control. Everybody can see that. I guess my point is, I try to come on the air. I want to talk about solutions. I mean, Ray Charles can see everything we're talking about. It don't take us to come on the air and overstate that fact. But my point is, you start calling them names and heathens, then you lose those kids right there before you say anything. You lose those kids. My thing, I want to find out why those kids conducting themselves, what making them feel the way they feel, in order for them to conduct themselves in the manner that they're conducting themselves in. That's what I want to know. That's what I want to find out. That's why I want to talk to our kids. My kids, because they're all our kids, because they're our future. And that's why I try to go so hard for them. But I go with tough love, though. It's a difference. I go with tough love. I go with the kind of love where I'm not gonna give you a fish, but I'm gonna teach you how to fish so you can feed yourself. That's tough love. And I try to, get with other people and brainstorm. That's brainstorming when everybody giving their view. I don't really go back and forth. I don't really do, shows do that. And every show format is different. My show is like a more laid back talk show type of show, from the old school where you sit back and you talk and your callers call in, you talk about what's going on or how you feel you can better. And see what my show is, my motto is we stimulate conversation. While assimilating information. So what I mean by that is the fact that we value all points of view here at Outside the Round Table. We value all points of view. No matter how wacky you feel your view might sound, I want to hear it, because the more the merrier to me, because guess what? It could be one thing, one single sentence that you said at your whole conversation that somebody might have took and ran with it and did something with it. Even though that might have been the most insignificant thing that you felt you said. And that's what happens when you brainstorm and you make people feel comfortable to express themselves. And that's what this show all about. The more views we have, the better views. I don't try to go against nobody other view, because your view is your view. And we all different. That's why none of us have the same DNA. We're a multifaceted society. And I'm always interested in hear other people spin on these complex issues that affect us each and every day. So always feel free to call in, and give your point of view. Because we're here to try to solve the problems that if we don't solve and if we don't change, America as we know it ain't gonna be there for our kids and our grandkids, I'm telling you now. It's time for a break? Not yet? Not yet? Okay, cool. So anyway, I also like to talk about the tournament that we had over the weekend, and we're gonna probably talk about that when we come back, and we'll get back to that when I come back. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a break and we're gonna come right back. This is HL Solid Outside the Round Table, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Also, I want to say, Oh, I want to say welcome to some of my listeners from Detroit, St. Louis area, off of the Superstation Line 10. I want to say that, we do brainstorming on our show, and we don't necessarily have to agree on points. We just simply make them. One thing we can agree on is to be able to disagree. So, like I say, we want you to make points. We ain't worried about winning points. We can all agree on the problems that affect us each and every day. I mean, Ray Charles can see that. Our country's in disarray, point blank. But I guess what we need to do is just focus on how to come up with solutions. I think that's what we need to focus on. Instead of all this bickering, let's just focus on how to come up with solutions that we desperately need in our country. We need to say, because all we need to do is set a culture, right? Of everything being about finding solutions, never about bipartisan bickering. All we gotta do is set that culture by electing people that of like mind. What you think? That's what I think. I think we need to focus on solutions. And one person, one vote would be the number one bill to focus on. One person, one vote. We all need to be telling that one person, one vote. And start letting the will of the people be what it was supposed to be. The majority rule in democracy. Instead of these rules being rigged and set for the minority to rule the majority. If there's a democracy, then it should be one person, one vote, period. Majority rule, not a super majority, but a majority. And until we adopt this model, you will continue to see the same problems year in and year out. I can assure you that. The number here today, 386-868-0635. And before I forget, I want to congratulate Terry Johnson, a.k.a. Baldy, Terry Johnson, CEO of Baldy Athletics, a.k.a. Baldy, for a great weekend of Super Basketball. He brought a lot of teams from all over different states to Daytona for the weekend. I mean, that's commendable, man. That's nice for the kids to go out and see the local talent and the talent that's coming up around these different states and get together and celebrate, having fun and watching some basketball, live basketball, and just getting along. That's a great thing. He's to be commended for that. My hat's off to you, my brother. Keep up the good work. Unfortunately, I had to work, but I had people in place at the tournament to check it out, and you got an A. You got an A in their eyes, so congratulations. I also want to address the ordering process of everybody food supply, that people that called me for that promo. That was a promo for the 4th of July for everybody's food supply. 386-333-0913. You can reach a sales rep, which is one of the jobs I got as a sales rep. And you could call me or some of the other sales rep anytime, and we could get these orders, but these orders have to go in by certain dates. And I was telling people who were saying, I'm going to catch you next week. Well, if you catch me next week, then you're going to be back to pre-promo prices. I mean, you're talking about getting a six racks, a case of baby back ribs, which you go for like $35 a slab. You talking about getting 6 for $120. Or you talking about getting 6 spare ribs for $150, between $125 and $150, depending on the weight, but they big spare ribs. When y'all go to these other stores, you know what the prices is, because I done been around all of them. So that was something that I talked to the owners about, trying to do something for the people for the 4th of July, so everybody can have some good meat to eat. So I want to address that, because certain people thought that was going to be the price. That was a promo. That ends Wednesday. If your order not in by Wednesday, then you have to wait till the following week, and you have to pay a whole nother price. It goes back to the regular price. So I want to address that. Okay, I addressed that. So now, also on everybody's food supply, the meat, I want to say this. I got to say this. You can go look. You're never going to find as many as they give you. But the quality of the meat, this is top restaurant quality meat. This is not the meat you get out the supermarket. So just by nature, it's supposed to cost more. But it's costing less or about the same price or less. And you're talking about a whole better grade of meat. And I guarantee when you eat this meat, you'll be able to tell the difference. And when you eat this meat, chances are you won't buy your meat from the grocery store no more. I'm just saying, because Sam's Club still ain't got chicken wings. It's been like 2 months. I know we got chicken wings. And we got them in a 10-pound bags, and we got in a 40-pound case. I know we got chicken wings. So you talking about you just talking about top restaurant quality food, and you can't compare some of the merchandise that you buy in some of these stores that comes from hundreds of different cattle. It's a big difference. I'm not saying no name. I ain't knocking nobody, but I tell you what, I guarantee you, if you don't like it, you get your money back. So that lets you know how much I think about it. I don't buy my meats and seafood from the grocery store no more. And that's 386-333-0913, and the rep will assist you in trying to get you anything you need. They really can get anything you need. And I think they're working on being able to sell EBT cards also, because she said she wanted to help the black community, and that's what she really doing right now, because she got those promos out there with for those spare ribs and those baby back ribs. And I promise you'll taste the difference. So these prices ain't wins. I just want everybody in the community. And when I say community, I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about the great people of the V, of Volusia County. I want you guys to taste this meat. I never told you nothing wrong. You got to taste the hamburgers, or taste the steaks, or taste the whatever you like. It's going to be a whole different taste. Once you season it up and you eat that stuff, you'll never, never, ever buy no meats from the store again. I promise you that. You'll be eating like you eating in a top restaurant, because it's the same meats that go to the top restaurants, right to your kitchen table. So check it out. That's everybody's food supply. And the number's 386-333-0913. And then once the website goes up in about another month, but those prices are going to be website prices. So everybody need to try to jump on board now, and we're going to try to establish some local prices for our local people in the V. So you want to order all those real specials for the 4th. This is the 64th show. And y'all know, if you miss me on Tuesday, you can always go to Facebook, or you can always go to Twitter or YouTube. Put in Outside the Round Table 64. If you miss me, and then when you have time, sit down and listen to the show. Hit that like button. I'm not social media savvy, but I know it got to be at least more than 20 or 30 people view my site every month. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, or whatever. Don't forget about the YouTube. Don't forget about the GoFundMe site. We got to put our money where our mouth at. Every little count. Every little bit count. Because you got to remember now, we're all in this together. We're all in this together. And as long as you know we're all in this together, then we're going to be all right. But I want to say Merrick Garland has to be the worst attorney general that we ever had. So we want to shine a light on Merrick Garland. He needs to do his job. He don't want to arrest none of the major players. I don't know about you guys, but that don't sit okay with me. I don't know about you guys. I want to know who's behind it, don't you? Don't everybody want to know who's behind that? I know I do. I know I do. I need to know who in Washington was behind that January 6th insurrection, and we need to deal with them so this will never happen again. Not this soft-handed approach that we taking. Because I had some great conversation over the weekend with some of my buddies, and for some reason, they never seem to call in the show. When we over his place or their place, we all sitting around. Everybody talk. I said, this was what the audience need to hear. This is what the people in the neighborhood need to hear. This is what the people in the community need to hear. What we talking about right now. Y'all being selfish sitting there talking about that, but you won't call in. But you want to call me around your house and talk me to death about these subjects. Need to call in so people can hear your take. And I tell them all the time, y'all need to call in on air and talk about these issues. And not only that, the invitation goes out to anybody. The invitation goes out to anybody. Ain't no special people could call in. That number for anybody who want to call in and express their feelings in real time. Because that was the whole thing with the show. To be able to call in, talk about what's going on that day, talk about what's going on in politics, talk about what's going on in your neighborhood, talk about how you feeling about that low-down person that you thought that you loved. Anything is for you to get it out. Almost like we're a community again from the old days, where everybody in the community go on one porch and everybody talk about what's going on. And we're outside the round table. That's why I'm outside the round table. Because I don't function on conditional traditions far as the radio go. We keep the language clean. But other than that, we don't do no arguing. We just sit back and everybody's view is heard. Everybody's view is valued. And that's what we need. The more the merrier. I love giving the people the form they need so they can express their feelings in real time. That's what I want. That's what's so vital with me. I want people to be able to express themselves in real time on the air. Call you on the air. Call you on the air. Call you on the air. I hear him, but he don't say nothing. Call you on the air.
Hey, Mr. Charles, how you doing, man?
What's up? You got 6 minutes. What's happening?
Hey, I just want to touch on something, man. This ain't going to take long, because I woke up this morning to this, to our Congressman Dan Crenshaw.
Yeah.
Talking about our young female, Gwen Berry, and her lack of patriotism, as he calls it. But, I don't hear him looking to convene a committee to talk about the lack of patriotism that happened on January 6th. He wants to talk about this young lady who supposedly doesn't have patriotism because she... And here's the thing. When would they realize that we don't get aroused for that red, white, and blue like they do? It don't mean the same thing for us as it does for them. Because we didn't have that back in the day where I heard Meghan McCain talking about her dad. He was a POW and how he served his country, and I'm an ex-military, and I appreciate everything Senator McCain did. But what she has to realize, when he came home a hero. He came home, he got elected as a senator. When our blacks came home, they couldn't even get a job, they couldn't get home, they couldn't get loans, they came home to Jim Crow, and we used to be considered property, back in the day. So that red, white, and blue for us doesn't quite mean the same thing, So when he tries to throw that out there about that patriotism thing, if you want to throw that around and start talking about the insurrection, then I believe something that you say about patriotism.
But they should never holler about patriotism because the bar is so low for them, and it's always something that's really minor that they're so outraged about. But if something on their side is outrageous, like January 6th, they downplay it. So they hold no credibility with me in the first place.
Well, they're not really outraged. That's full outrage.
Yeah.
You know, and I tell you this.
It's their game plan. That's their game plan.
Yeah. It's a smokescreen.
Yeah, exactly.
They want to throw out the narrative that they want you to hear.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
But they downplay, you know, the stuff that we need to be talking about. They downplay that.
It's almost a form of propaganda.
And even said something about, you know, we need to stop talking about the Black Lives Movement and stop talking about us not being patriotic. Even Putin made a comment about it. Okay, so now we're supposed to base our actions and comments on what Putin thinks about it? Come on, man, you gotta do better than that.
I agree with you 100%. I mean, if you don't agree, if you don't vote to pass fair voting acts, that let me know all I need to know anyway. You know, because you can't. How anti-American can you get if you're trying to stop a whole group of people, a whole segment of people from voting? So everything you say is false. It's falsehoods because on that premise alone, you disqualified to even speak on it. Because the number one thing is the person supposed to have inalienable rights to be able to vote. That's your inalienable rights. So for you to take away me, that's the number one thing. That's the first thing. You already disqualified from out the gate. That's why everything come out your mouth now don't mean nothing to me because the premise that this country is based upon, you don't even pass that.
Well, you know, if the Voting Rights Act was passed, they feel like they would never win another election.
Exactly. But hey, listen, we got to go. It's that time. The music never got played, so we got somebody new here today. Our regular guy, she done a great job. Though. Our regular guy was on vacation, and she done a great job. But I know I got to get you up out of here because it's 1 minute, and I got to say bye to everybody. Now I got the commercial.
All right, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Talk to you later. Listen. I just want everybody to know I love them, and it's just tough love. And so until next Tuesday at noon, when they go to music, thank you. So I love everybody, and until next Tuesday at noon, it's H.L. Siler. Put that sandwich down. It's time to go back to work, and I'm out.
Who really cares?